Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hi, guys. Good morning. Welcome to Tea Time. Okay, we're trying something new this morning, guys. Let me tell you, I clearly like to challenge myself because this morning we are live on all three platforms, and yeah, I'm actively just working through in my head, just all the different places that we are broadcasting this morning. So I'm live on YouTube, I'm live on Instagram, and I'm live on TikTok. So we're doing the things. Hi, good morning. Okay, I am so ready for this conversation, guys. I'm really excited, not just because I have my Usain Bolt shoes that I'm gonna be unboxing. So not just because of that, but because we are talking about what I would say is probably the number one corner of life that persons have concerns about, or that persons really get, stuck. The rut that you get stuck in is related to this particular area. And of course, we are talking about money and wealth and prosperity and abundance. And the idea, guys, is that by the time you leave this live, that you would have some tools to start change the way that your mind thinks about money and thinks about wealth, so that you can actually change the life experience that you're having with money and with wealth building. So that's what we're talking about today on Tea Time. I'm Stacey Hines. I'm your host. I'm so excited to be here. Go grab your tea. Like, if you don't already have your tea, make sure you get your tea, or your coffee, or your hot chocolate, whatever it is that you drink, because we're going to be talking all the tea this morning. I have to give you all of the tea when we did broke and don't have no money, and how now that we're making some money, right? Like what I'm doing with my mindset, and how all of these different things that I have learned can help you to also, build wealth and get wealthy, have prosperity and all of these things. So let's kick things off first and foremost with an intention. So you know that my whole premise for changing my life and transforming, just from being popped down and broke to now building wealth and to experiencing the life that I want, is largely based on intention. So we're going to start off with an intention card. Okay, so you guys, if you don't know, I'm a creator of intention cards called Epic Intentions. I can't wait for later this year. I have something special coming for you guys. And there's 52 cards in the deck, and it's really for daily affirmations, right? And today I didn't even have to shuffle. I mean, I usually shuffle the cards on Tea Time and then pick one. But this morning, I went for the wealth building card. I went and grabbed the card that was about abundance and prosperity, because for many of us, it's the way that we think about prosperity that makes it difficult for us to actually create that money stream that we want, that flow of money energy that we want. So this morning's intention card is: I receive and accept abundance. You can even put it another way. If you're trying to wake up every day and create a new way of thinking about money and creating money, and having a wealth stream that is flowing to you, you can start off by saying, I allow, accept, and receive abundance. Because part of it, guys, is that we are in the habit of not allowing money into our space. And because we're in that habit, because we are in the old habits that came from, whether it's our childhood experiences, our parents, all the different things that may have been in our way, because of those things, we just stuck. And therefore, we have to now create new habits and create new thoughts. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So just remember this, guys. This is our intention card for today. You are allowing, accepting, and receiving abundance. And the affirmation on the card says, I stand in the knowing. You have to just know. Say you deserve all of the money. all of the wealth, all of the wonderful experiences that cost money, because we're going to talk about what money is and what you've made it mean to you and all of these things, right? So the affirmation says, I stand in the knowing that all wealth, beautiful life, and delicious experiences are mine to be had. It's not a thing where you kind of want it, sure, boy, things did rough when you grew up and you have so much responsibility now. And no, we're not affirming all of the things. We're not arguing for any broke pocket limitations. We're not doing that, right? We are arguing for and we are standing in the knowing that all delicious and beautiful life experiences are ours to be had. All right. So that's where we're starting, guys. And now we're going to dive right in. So when I was thinking about how we're going to have this conversation today, and I like to talk the tea. I like to talk about just my life because, quite frankly, I just don't feel like if you're going to come and teach me something, if you're already rich and you were always rich, I don't think you can teach me anything because me wasn't always rich. I was not born with a gold spoon in my mouth. I did not come from a wealthy family that have, this great grandmother that's sitting somewhere on a pile of money. And when she dies, I'm going to magically inherit it. That's not where things started for me. Right. And so I felt like if I'm going to come on and talk about money, it has to be from a place of, okay, at one point in my life, I was really struggling. I was on the struggle bus for money. And how did I shift that? Like, what are the things I'm doing in my life to not just experience a different money flow, but to also manage my mind and my heart and my head? Because say money is the one thing where make you take your bed because your head just start hurting when you see the bills across and you cannot pay it, right? So I've been learning new ways to manage myself in how I think about money. And so I said, I think that's where we have to start today. I think today we have to talk about, just the way that money occurs to you, how money occurs to people generally, and some of the secrets that, whether it's intentional or not, these are the things that have other people out there making these big bucks, and I wanted to make sure that it landed for you guys in a way that you could remember after we have the conversation today, because you're going to come this morning, you're going to sit and sip tea with me, and then you're going to go off back into the regular world, and you might even go shopping today because it's Saturday. You might go supermarket and you might reach the cash register. And when them ringing up the bill, you're like on your phone trying to check your bank account because you want to make sure that when you finish, calculate the bill. When them finish, poop, poop, that poop, poop sound? Okay. And every time it poop past the cash register checking thing, is like your heart rate starts increase because you're not sure if you're going to actually be able to pay the bill. Guys, I'm being real. That's exactly where I'm coming from. That's the life that I used to live at one point, right? And so we need to talk about these things. We need to talk about where, persons are coming from, where they start, and how you can systematically build that line of prosperity, that flow of prosperity, and change your thinking about it so that you're not just doing it in a moment, but you're developing a habit, because it's the habit is the part that is going to keep you and sustain you and make this actually work for you. Okay, everybody with me? Everybody ready to get wealthy and start to actually allow, accept, and receive abundance into your life? All right, good. So let's first and foremost talk about money, right? Because I think when we think about abundance and prosperity, we automatically, and I'm not saying that money does not represent or reflect a way of being prosperous, but it's just one way. It's just one way, guys. So I want to make sure that we understand money a little bit, and I'm not getting into teaching you all the stuff that like a Keisha from Profit Jumpstarter would teach you, because that's her lane. She's the money genius, the finance guru. This is not a finance class. This is a mindset and energy set class, because you can have all of the financial education, but if your mind not set and your energy not set, you're going to be broke. You're going to be bright and broke. It's just that plain. Okay? So when you're thinking about money, right? Or better position, when you think about being prosperous and being wealthy, right? You have to recognize that money is just one representation of how wealth and prosperity can flow to you. So when you look at the card, you'll see that there's a gold stream and a pot. She collect, right? So there's a gold stream and a pot. She's fully collecting her abundance, right? So I want you to understand first and foremost that money is just one way that abundance can flow to you. And as a matter of fact, guys, you should automatically feel better knowing that there is multiple ways that money can flow to you, that prosperity, sorry, can flow to you. It's not just cash, okay? When you think about what money actually is, the representation of money is really just an exchange of the energy that you have for something that you want, for the thing that you want. It is a way to measure value. And traditionally, when you look historically about the evolution of money, humans have used many different forms of representing that tangible value exchange. Okay, so think about cattle and straw, like back in the days when there wasn't this physical, tangible dollar figure. I think I have a dollar somewhere here. Like, so this is Canadian money. I'm not currently in Canada, but I've been traveling. I'll be traveling to Canada quite a bit this year, so I have some Canadian money. But this tangible thing, right, is just one of the ways that abundance or a value exchange is represented. That's the first thing I want you to realize. All right. So if you have some cash or if you have some coin, I have like a coin thing with me where I have one bag of coin I collect in this bucket, right? That's a way that value is represented. Think about it. We have now cryptocurrency. We have digital wallet on my phone. Can go with your Apple Pay and you can just scan. So, guys, if you think about it, right, like if you start to really max out how money is represented, you got to realize that, okay, this is just really one form of being able to represent and exchange value. There are many forms, but of course, when we think about being broke or that scarcity feeling, it's because we don't have enough of these floating around, right? So I get it, I understand. But I just needed to recognize that the evolution of money is one that says that, boy, I can have straw, I can have cattle, I can have a good attitude, and all of those things equate to my prosperity, equate to my ability to receive prosperity, to receive abundance, right? When think about whether or not you're actually chasing money right now, or are you making money? Think about, are you chasing prosperity, or are you giving yourself access to prosperity, right? Chasers are oftentimes, you find money to be elusive. When you're chasing, you find money to be something that you constantly have to be running after. It's like it can never be enough because you're always trying to get to this. Okay? But when you are a maker, when you are a creator, when you are an attractor of prosperity, then you understand that money is just a byproduct of the value that you are creating. You get what I'm saying? Money and abundance is a byproduct of what you have decided to create in your life. I'm going to give you an example. So, my grandmother has a saying that, and I suppose all of us that have Jamaican grandmothers, you have sayings, right? So, my grandmother has taught me many sayings, and one of them is good friend better than pocket money. Let me say that again. Good friend better than pocket money. Okay. And what that means is that when you have really good relationships with really good people, You get access to things that you would normally have to pay for without having to pay for them. And that has come to life for me with one of my amazing friends, one of my besties, who is actually a designer. And once upon a time, I thought that I needed to have a whole bag of money so that I could have nice designer clothing because I'm a fashionista. And I used to love collecting the magazines. I used to have the W and the Vogue and the Cosmo and the everybody. I used to collect all the magazines. And I mean, I used to drool over the things, the models, them sit down, them unk up on them up the purse, and it's like, yeah. And you feel like, oh my gosh, like I want that. Okay. So I was one of those persons that was just like, if I could just get some money, then I could afford to buy all these clothes. Lo and behold, can I tell you? If you go upstairs right now in my closet, I have a plethora of designer clothing. I really do, honest to God. And I can tell you that I may have paid 10% of the cost of those designer clothes because the other 90% come from a good friend or good friends. Like, check and see where in your life one of your good friend them come true for you. Whether them help you fix your car, or them bring you some groceries, or them help you get school supplies for your picnic, or them help you, like, your friend have a house where you can't stay because you travel and you can't afford the Airbnb. So right away, guys, when you think about the value of your energy, because it's your energy that you use to create relationships, that is the same energy that you're also using to create prosperity. Okay? So when you're thinking about money and thinking, oh, I'm so broke, I don't have it, I want you to think about times where you may have thought to yourself, I don't have it, but somehow you do because you have some good friends, and those good friends may have at one point in time or another given you access to something that money would have paid for. You get what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, I'm going to tell you another story. This is now going to get you into understanding when you realize that money is just one of the ways, because a good friend is another way of prosperity coming into your life, right? Once you understand that money is not the is all and end all, that prosperity is so much larger and abundance is so much larger, then the next thing you have to do is you have to really get clear on what is your intention for money. And this clarity is really important because initially, when I was chasing money, because I used to chase at one point, yeah. That's some good tea. I don't know what y'all drinking, but today on Tea Time, I am drinking English breakfast. This is my probably my baseline. If you come to Tea Time, you know that I'm usually, not always, but a lot of times I'm drinking English breakfast with oat milk, honey, vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg. I have forgot giving you the recipe because that tea, yeah, it bad, nah lie. Okay. Okay, back to it. Right. So we're talking about understanding the money piece. And once you understand that money is just one form of value exchange, one form of energy exchange, and that prosperity and abundance is much bigger than that. Once you understand it and start to detach yourself from attachment to the actual dollar bill, whether it's digital or physical, then we now need to say, okay, well, since I know that my prosperity goals are not attached to just money, then what do I really want? What is it that I'm trying to achieve through this wealth that I'm creating? What is it that I desire from abundance? When I put up my reminder on Instagram last night that I was going to be talking on Tea Time about money today, I had the thought, I need to talk about what people think about money. Like when they think about cash and having cash, right? What are they wanting? I want to pay school fee. Like, me and my sister were talking about school fees because I have 3 children and one is in private school and two are in university. You know how much money that for school fee? And the entire time, the entire time that I was literally in Atlanta when we were getting ready, we were in other home Atlanta, and we were getting ready to transition one of my daughters into university because one of them just started, and we would go shopping or we would go, we would get in the car to buy something. They'd be like, Lord, mommy, don't talk about the school fee, because I used to talk about the school fee so much, them get used to me talking about the school fee. And if you have kids, I know you get it. If you're in Jamaica and you're sending your kids to prep school, I know you get it. If you're in the States and you're sending your kids to private school, you understand that when August and September are rolling around, you are maxing out, you're pulling out every calculator, you're checking your bank account 3, 4 times a day. Okay. If you are looking at any kind of mortgage, any bills, if you have a business, if you're an entrepreneur and you got payroll, oh my gosh, when payroll come around, you're just like the shock and awe, the shock and awe of how much payroll is. So we all have our different money things, right? It can be as significant as a mortgage, or like right now, I'm closing on my beachfront condo. It can be something big, like a big money thing like that. It can be a medium money thing like university tuition, or prep school, private school fees. It can be a smaller money thing like groceries, light bill, it's just cash, 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 cash it, right? But anywhere there is this demand on your pocket, that's usually when you start to feel the pull of scarcity. And I call it a pull because I know I'm very familiar with it, right? My belly start hurt me. It just feel not up. It feel uncomfortable. My head start to take me because it's like the brain and the maths not calculating with the numbers that are in the not the numbers that are actually in the bank account. Okay. And therefore, I understand the feeling that you guys get. It's like this downward spiral where you literally just almost feel hopeless. I know you understand what I'm saying. And then you feel frustration because you feel like you're doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing to help you to build wealth. You're working hard. Maybe you're married for the money. Maybe, you're doing all the extra hours. You have 10 jobs, or you're content creating like crazy. You're posting to TikTok 3 to 5 times a day. So you feel like you're doing all these things, and yet still it just does not seem like you're able to make ends meet. I understand it. I have been there. And sometimes even I still go back there in my mind, right? And so when you start to think about that now, one of the things that you want to recognize is, what is it that I'm really intending? What is my intention for prosperity? Okay. So what is it that I'm trying to achieve? For many of us, we literally feel like you are seeking the prosperity so that you can pay the bill. That's what you think, guys. That's what you think. And I understand it because that's what I used to think. But here, what happened now? That's really not what you're after. What you're after comes when you are done paying the bills, done paying the school fee, done paying the mortgage, done paying the light bill, having bought the groceries, and you're sat at the table with your kids or your husband or by yourself with Netflix, and you're eating. That's actually what you're after. You are not after the thing that the money can get you. You are after the feeling that you will get once you are on the other side of having paid the bill, gotten the kid into school, can sit in the living room of the house that you bought. Okay? So if you think about it, the bad feelings that scarcity gives, I see somebody on Instagram say, honestly, scarcity is a serious case of bad feelings, right? And she's right. It's a case of bad feelings. When you think about it, right? If you are going into a situation with a series of bad feeling, you are not going for the school fee. No, you're going for the feeling of bad feelings to go away and give you a good feeling. That is actually what you're after. So your intention is not, I want a yacht. No, Mr. People, when you're setting intentions at the beginning of the year, and make sure now, guys, we're in August now, So you have to go think about setting intentions with me come January 2nd, right? I see people do it all the time. You're setting intentions at the beginning of the year, and in the midst of that setting of intentions, you are like thinking about the stuff. I want the house. I want the car. I want the yacht. I want the jet. And I go and get it. And on your vision board, when you do vision boarding, that's one of the reasons why vision board don't work for some people. Because on the vision board, the intention is not what you're putting on the vision board. On the vision board, you're putting the physical thing that is actually going to get the intention for you, but you don't realize it. That's a big secret that a lot of people don't realize. They are chasing the physical, tangible thing when what you are actually trying to attract is the feeling that you're going to get on the other side of it. Are you guys getting this? Because this is the main secret here that I want you to get. Your intention about wealth is what is going to get you closer to that wealth. That's what it is. If you can actually focus more on the intention that you expect to experience after you have built this wealth, then that's when you're going to start to experience the amazing flow of abundance. And it's going to get faster and faster. And no matter where it is in your life, because for some people, they don't have any issues with building prosperity at home. But then if they have a business, they have a challenge building prosperity in their business. Right? And so what you have to realize is that in all the different ways that money comes to you, it's not the money or the cash that you are after. What you are after is the feeling, the experience that you will get when you have now gotten this physical, tangible thing. I'm going to give you a simple example, a little bit more tea in my life. I'm going to mind spill the tea about my life of when I realized this. It was a few years ago that I actually, it clicked for me in my mind, right? It was probably before the pandemic. Yeah, I think it was before the pandemic, right? And at this point in time, I was working my main job as a strategist. And then, in addition to having the main job as a strategist, I was also supporting a couple of influential entrepreneurs, right? Doing work for entrepreneurs, helping them with their digital transformation, helping them with their online strategies, whatever. And all of this, at the time, I hadn't met Honey Boo, so I did not have any financial support, any help. It was just my pocket alone, me and my 3 children, right? And I was really challenged by finances. My headspace was, I was chasing money, like anywhere I could have find it. If I could have worked 10 jobs, if I didn't have to sleep, so I could work additional ways to get money. And I was going to a meeting for one of my influencers, right? And I was kind of lost. I didn't quite know. It was a new office I was going to. It was far from where I was used to traveling, and I was on my way there, getting moving along, whatever. And I didn't have any money. Like I literally was able to buy enough gas, and I know I didn't have any cash on me because I was broke, right? So me, I drive go to meeting now. And I think I had some change in my car thing then. I drive go to meeting and I was unfamiliar with the route. And remember me telling them I drive go to meeting and I reach a sign, right? That said that I have toll coming up. Toll, No, I'm telling them I don't have no money. We say I have toll. I see sign said toll I come. And I had a couple of options because there was no exit to come off. You can't turn around because it's one of those double carriage thing where you have the big piece of concrete between your side of the road and the next side. So I can tell you guys, it was a simple thing. I think the toll may have been, I don't know, $5 or something. But I just did. When you broke, you broke. You just don't have the money. And let me tell you something. Cold sweat start to wash me. And the reason why this little thing of the toll took such hold of me is because I have been sat in such a space of scarcity for such a long time that I could not wrap my mind around any other way to escape it. I couldn't wrap my mind around, well, maybe when you get to the toll booth, you can talk to the toll operator and go over to them office and maybe them will give you a blind. I couldn't even start to think of ideas. You know them ways when the pressure of the money is so hard, like it could be the simplest thing in the supermarket and when them swipe a card, it don't go through. That has happened to me already, by the way. You know, you swipe the card and it don't go through, and it's like the pressure of the situation. So I'm literally approaching this toll and I just feel pressure. It's like sweat, you know, like when I go tell them I'm so embarrassed and I feel shame and I feel guilt and I just feeling all these feelings for something as simple as $5. So when I reached the toll line now, I said, it's like a part of me was like, don't give up, Stacey. You must can find some change in the car. And let me tell you, man, I start to put together the coin them. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. I start to put together the coin them in the handrest of the car. And me I put together coin, me I put together coin. And then, guys, I looked over in the side, you know, the door handle, and I saw a bill fall up. And I pick up the bill, and when I add up the coin them and the couple dollar bills, it equal the exact, when I say the money exact, you know, the exact amount that I needed for the toll. Exact amount. And you know what happened in that moment? When I handed over the whole heap of coin them to the lady and the crumple up dollar bill or whatever it was that I found, you see, when she got some ding on the light green, I'm going to reach through on the other side. See me here driving and just like for $5. So you know what happened, guys? You see, when I got to the meeting and I sat in the parking lot and I realized that it wasn't the toll I was after. It was that feeling that I can pay a $5 toll and not stress about it. And I mean, the joy and exuberation. I know you guys are familiar with being in a tough situation and being able to see yourself on the other side of that situation. And so that's what I'm saying. When you think about your money intention, think about the feeling that you are after. Because what you have to be able to do, you know, guys, is you have to be able to accept where you are today. Today, I don't have no issues going on at toll booth. I don't have any issues like that. But maybe if it's something bigger, maybe I can feel the same old scarcity feelings coming back. So I have to consistently remind myself about my money intention, my prosperity intention, my abundance intention. You have to accept your current financial reality for what it is and know that you are not stuck here. Because when you're thinking about what you're going to use the money for, it's not necessarily no, it's usually a future thing. When you're dreaming of what you want to build abundance for, it's not usually no, you're building the thing. You're not usually going across and saying, yeah, I want to just cash in for this mortgage right now. I just drove past this new Tesla. I'm going to buy it right away. I see this Range Rover that I like. Yeah, just here, take the credit card. That's not usually what's happening. You're usually thinking about it for a future thing. You're thinking about it for, you know, the account you're going to set up for your kids for school, the trust fund that you're going to put together for them for the future, the business that you're going to open up and the investment that you want to place in that business. That's usually what you're thinking about, right? And so what I'm saying is that ultimately it's not the immediate or the now that you're focused on. It's usually the future. But then guess what happened? After you have the idea of doing this thing in the future, your thoughts immediately come to the present moment and you're like, but you don't have that in your bank account. And so that feeling, that good feeling where it came from initially, that goes away. And then you are left with the feeling of scarcity. So the secret is you have to find other ways to access that feeling of what will happen when I have this thing. And you can do that by accepting where you are today and knowing. You hear what the card say? It says that you know that all life, beautiful life, abundance, experiences that are like mind blowing, all those things are available to you. You know it. So when you know that now, you don't have to worry. You don't have to have cold sweat or bullet sweat you because you don't have the money in the bank account right now, or you had it and then you have to spend it on this and you don't know where the rest of it going to come from. No, you don't have to do that, right? You have to get into the thought process about the energy that you need to move towards so that you can have the future thing. Let me tell you something. When you can align with wealth energy, it is the most transformative thing that you can do for your life. And one of the things that one of the reasons why I wanted to do the Usain Bolt sneaker unboxing is because I recognize that at some point in Usain's life, whether just him or his family, right, he had to have a wealth dream. Usain used to run barefoot on the fields in country in Jamaica. And now, look at this. Look at this. Come on, guys. So it's not that there aren't people that are out there that are like everybody rich already and it's not available to you. It's available to you. At some point in time, this guy right here had to have a dream. And the reason why I bought these sneakers is because I was inspired by just watching how, he has decided to just make it known that, yeah, I'm still Usain and I'm still wealthy and I'm still prosperous and I'm still sat in the space of abundance. Whether it is him believe it on his own or is his parents, there was a point in his life where he made up his mind that he was going to dream, and he literally chose a path of track and field to do that. And so I'm inspired also because everybody saw the other day where him get robbed, right? He got robbed by a woman and a bunch of other people. How much millions of dollars of hard working money, right? So you see him get robbed. And I mean, if he was not already in that mental habit, remember now, we talked about this mindset. If he was not already in that mental habit of, I can create wealth again, or I can continue to build wealth, you have not taken away the part of me that actually creates wealth, which is the inner part, right? It's the inner part that creates wealth. So he's clear that him have that ability still, right? So here we are again after him done get robbed, creating wealth. So I was like, I have to get these shoes because I want to be inspired by persons who have created wealth in a way that I can recognize it. I can see myself in it. And so I went online when they were doing the wholesale thing and I bought the shoes. No, when I get the box and I just get excited because I was like, wow, look at this. So here we go, right? So when I open the box, first and foremost, you know how the shoes come with a paper, right? And it will have the brand on there, the Nike, or in this case, the Puma. Guys, the paper literally has the same symbol, the same Usain Bolt when he won. You see that? Look at that. It has the same symbol along with the Puma. I don't know if you guys realize how big a deal this is. Which other athlete in Jamaica? In the States, it's a big deal. LeBron got his sneakers. Everybody got their sneakers. This is Jamaica's first athlete, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can probably count on one hand if there's more than one person that have them own sneaker line. Like, hello, fabulous. The paper has instant. I'm sure that when Usain stood at the end of that finish line and did that lightning bolt pose, I don't think he was thinking about, oh, it's gonna be on the paper of my sneaker line. But that's what abundance does. When you give way to the thinking about abundance, that's what it does for you. It creates opportunities in ways that you could never have asked for or even imagined. Anyway, let's get to the shoes now. So here is the shoe. Yes, gorgeous. Suede. Okay. I am loving it. Yes. It's giving wealth. It's giving prosperity. Okay. So let me tell you something about inspiration. Inspiration is one of the ways that you can align yourself with wealth energy. And so when you think about influencers and celebrities and why people are so attracted to them, it attracts you because you see something about them that mirrors what you want within yourself. That's what really attracts you to celebrities and influencers and that kind of thing. So when I saw this shoe advertised, I was like, okay, I am going to align myself with greatness. I want to wear the shoes that greatness has created. All right. So I decided I'm going to get myself some Usain Bolt shoes. Guess what, guys? When I jump on to purchase the shoes, they were out of my size. I had to go a size larger. I had to go a size larger. Well, let's put it this way. I didn't have to go a size larger. I could have said, they don't have my size. I'm not going to bother get it. But that was not my intention. My intention was not to have the perfect size shoe so I could go flossing. My intention was to align myself with wealth, with inspiring stories of wealth creation. And so I decided that I was going to get myself the one size larger shoes, and I'm going to wear it around the house. I'm going to wear it on the road. I'm going to wear it whenever I want to feel wealthy. That's what I'm going to do. And so last week, when I was hosting the Build Wealth conference, I was speaking on one day and hosting on the next. I decided I was going to wear these shoes. And you best believe I'm going to put on the shoes. First, when I unboxed the shoes, I was like, yes. And when I put on the shoes, I felt so wealthy. I felt like I can create anything I want. I felt so inspired. And so that's what I'm saying. If you need to create inspiration for yourself, find ways to do that, right? Inspiration will give you that energy jolt. And since we are after the feeling and not the actual tangible money, right? We figured that part out now. You learned that earlier. Since we're after the feeling, okay, then ultimately what you want to do is you want to create inspirational moments for yourself. Surround yourself with inspiring stories and people. Do not watch influencers who are online. Yourself with the wealth energy that you are seeking that will ultimately help you to create the life that you want. All right? Now, before this becomes a lecture, let me just wrap it up for all of you. Okay, so how do you do this? I'm sure you're asking, right? So let me share a couple of ways that I have done this that have worked, that I know will work for you. How to align with your wealth intention. First things first, guys, you need to figure out what your intention for money is. Is your intention to have a yacht, or is your intention to have a feeling of freedom and ease when you're on the yacht? Okay? Think about what you feel like when you have the money that you want. Think about a time where you were able to buy something or pay for something. Excuse me. Sorry. And you were able to get that money. What was the feeling that you got after you were able to get that money? Right? Think about that feeling. Write down what that feeling was. Was it ease? Was it satisfaction? Was it joy? Was it contentment? Was it excitement? Right? And then visualize yourself with that feeling. It doesn't have to come from a moment where you are paying for something. It could come from any other time that you get that feeling. Maybe it's when you spend time with your lover or with your kids or with your grandma or outside in nature. Think about when you can get that feeling and focus on that feeling. And when you realize that you are unable to capture it, if you're thinking about money or thinking about paying a bill and you're unable to capture the feeling, then stop focusing on that thought, because you cannot get to that good feeling by focusing on the negativity of scarcity that the thought gives you. So visualize regularly the life the desire that you want to experience. Think about the feeling that you want to have. Think about a moment where you may have manufactured that feeling, and just that memory will bring the feeling back to you. It absolutely brings the feeling back to you, right? So when negative feelings about money arise, acknowledge them, know that they're there, and then decide to, yeah, I'm not gonna pick up that end of the money stick. Let me pick up the end. Let me pivot over here and focus on my wealth intention. Let me focus on the feeling that I'm trying to create. And then, of course, you're going to use positive affirmations like the one that I shared at the beginning. You're going to use positive affirmations to reinforce your belief in your ability to create and attract wealth. All right. So let's look at the three things that you have to do. First things first, intention. Get clear on what you truly desire from your wealth, from your prosperity, right? When you have that clarity, you can understand that the cash is not what's going to get you there. The cash is just one of the vehicles to get you there, but it can come to you in many other ways. So you have to get clear on what you truly desire from prosperity, from wealth. Get clear on that. The second thing now is to take action, right? Implement some practical steps towards financial literacy, because you need to know where you are. You need to understand money. You need to understand where you are today. You need to understand what exactly your relationship is with money today. Figure out money management, because guess what happens, guys? If you are not managing your money well, then when your energy start to flow and you start to get all of that cash in, you will squander it, you will waste it, you will lose it. All right. And then the third thing is alignment. Regularly align your thoughts and feelings with your wealth goals. Okay. And the way that you can do that is by seeking out inspiration, whether you're seeking inspiration from, an influencer, or like seeking inspiration from a wealth, somebody that has built wealth from nothing to something like Usain did, right? Get inspired and pull on that inspiration when you are struggling. Okay. So your prosperity formula is IAA: intention, action, and alignment. You set an intention for your wealth. Get clarity on what you truly desire from wealth. What is it that you're trying to create? That feeling. Second, action. Implement practical steps. Get to know your money. Understand where you are today. Know what your money situations look like, and accept it. Be with it. It's okay. Everybody has to start from somewhere, right? And then start putting practical money management steps in place so that when you start to get that flow, you're able to maintain it. And then third, alignment. Regularly align your thoughts with inspiring stories, feelings, people in your circle or in virtual circles that inspire you towards your wealth and prosperity goals. Remember that wealth, it's not just about accumulating money. It's about creating a life of rich, beautiful experiences and the feelings that those experiences and opportunities give you. Okay? So choose somebody that can inspire you towards that, towards your ultimate wealth building goals. And of course, make sure you join Teatime, because we are changing our mindset and we are changing our lives one cup of tea at a time. Every Saturday morning, right here, you can find me. So thanks so much, guys, for joining today's conversation on Teatime, the secrets of wealth creation, because you really, once you understand the energetics of wealth, you can attract financial abundance in all its different forms. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. I am Stacey Hines. I have a YouTube channel there. You can actually connect with me there. Yes, it's somebody on Instagram saying, or coffee, right? Coffee, hot chocolate, tea. We do not discriminate. The cup does not discriminate. Whatever your warm cup of joy is, bring it, come and join us on a Saturday morning where we'll be talking about all things change your mindset, change your life so that you can live powerfully from a place of intention. All right. Thanks so much for joining, guys. I'll see you next week. I'll see you next week right here on Teatime. Okay. Take care. Take care, everybody.